So this model sits higher up in the Eufy robotic vacuum lineup, so inevitably your expectations are also going to be higher. So whether this is your first robot vacuum or whether you're thinking of upgrading, the question is simple. Does this higher model make living with a robot vacuum cleaner easier, or does it still need more babysitting than it should? Starting with the unboxing, you can immediately tell that this is more than a basic robot vacuum. In the box, you've got the robot itself, you've got the full charging station, and this is where things start to feel more serious because this isn't just somewhere you park your vacuum. The charging station handles the water for mopping, it empties the dirty water, and it empties the dust from the robot as well. While it was charging, I spent some time looking through the app, and straight away it's clear that there's a lot more going on here than you get with your very basic robot vacuums. There are more options, more controls, and more ways to tailor how the robot cleans your space. And as soon as I saw proper room mapping, well, that was the first thing that I needed to set up and I needed to test. Mapping really matters with these robot vacuums because once the robot understands your room layout and your house layout, everything else becomes a lot more flexible. Mapping itself is very easy. In the app, you just tap Create New Map or Map New Area. The vacuum moves away from the base and starts working its way around. I left all the doors open downstairs and it moved through each area, stopping occasionally, spinning around and scanning before moving on. You can watch the map being built in real time in the app with rooms and walls gradually appearing. One thing I'd definitely recommend for a more accurate map is just clearing everything out of the way as much as possible. And that matters because every now and then you're going to want to do a full clean, so you're going to want the vacuum to get into every single area. So you want that mapped area to be as big as it can be and to account for everything. Also make sure that loose cables and flimsy thin material is moved out of the way. One cable did get caught in the roller during one of the runs, and this model doesn't have obstacle avoidance. Once mapping is complete, there's a lot of flexibility. You're not just stuck with that map. You can rename rooms, you can merge areas or divide areas if needed. With the map in place, you can send it to a specific room, or you can just tell it to start cleaning the whole area. For each clean, you can choose whether you want it to vacuum, mop, or do both together. Most of our downstairs is hard flooring with a few rugs, so I set it to vacuum and mop. I left all the doors open, press go, and let it clean the entire downstairs. And that was it. It got on with the job and took around 50 minutes. Watching it work, the first thing that stood out was how intelligent it feels compared to cheaper models. The movement is strategic and logical, it scans areas and works methodically and cleans in a way that feels deliberate. It clearly has strong cleaning power and doesn't feel like it's relying on multiple passes, but you can get it to do 2 passes if you want to. Underneath, the roller, side brush and the mopping pads all work together depending on the surface. As soon as it hits the rug, the mop lifts up, and when it returns to hard floors, the mops drop back down again and start mopping. I set it to automatically return to base to clean the mop whenever it needed to, and it does that every 10 to 15 minutes. And this model doesn't have an integrated water container for mopping the floor inside the vacuum itself. So inside the charge station, it wets the mop, it cleans the floor, and then comes back, cleans the mops, and then transfers the dirty water into the separate container, and then goes back out again. And this does a great job of mopping the floor, and the finish leaves no dirt and no sticky residue. And what's particularly impressive is that once it's finished cleaning the mops, it returns to the exact point it left off and continues. And that really shows how accurate the mapping is here and reinforces the hands-off experience. We send this out every day to do the mopping and vacuuming downstairs, and after about 7 or 8 days we had to empty the dirty water because the tank was completely full up. The dust bag can be left a lot longer though, several weeks before having to change it. And all this does depend on usage and the size of your house, etc. But the most important thing is to take the advertised figures with a pinch of salt. It handled everyday obstacles really well: chair legs, table legs and general clutter. The sensors are really intuitive. It does touch things by bumping into them gently with the bumpers, but as I said, it doesn't have obstacle avoidance, so it just adjusts this route, slips through and carries on vacuuming. One limitation in some areas is the height of this vacuum. It couldn't go fully under our sideboard, and almost every time it got stuck trying, and I had to rescue it. The great thing is though that you get a notification on your phone to tell you that it's stuck, and also you can create a no-go zone so that it doesn't happen again. If you've got pets, the reactions can vary at first. Some chase it, some bark at it, and some are just curious. And having lived with robot vacuums for a while now, our dogs hardly take any notice. It's almost like it's just part of the household. Not having object recognition though, this doesn't recognise pets as pets, so it will just nudge into them. It won't avoid them altogether. It will nudge into them and then move around them. So if you've got small or fragile pets, it's best to keep them out of the way. In my experience with some of the cheaper models, rugs are where these vacuums tend to struggle. This one clearly recognises when it's on a rug and it adjusts how it cleans. And it works more systematically, and you can set the boost feature so that you get more suction when it detects a carpeted area. When it comes to upstairs carpets, you obviously have to physically carry this up the stairs, which then breaks the whole hands-off experience. And if it runs out of battery or needs emptying, it won't be able to find the charge station, so you'll just have to bring it back downstairs yourself. But one really good thing is that it does detect the top step, and it knows not to go beyond it. In an ideal world, you'd probably have a separate one of these upstairs that just does the carpets. But this video is more about how well it does clean the carpets when you do take it up there. I tested it in our main bedroom and the landing area, and I mapped those areas, which was really quick, and then sent it out to clean on maximum power. From a cleanliness point of view, this did a really good job. You can see the carpet pile being pushed and lifted, and this showed that there's proper downward force and power being applied. The drawback for me, and this isn't unique to this model of robotic vacuum because I've experienced it with other cheaper models as well, and that is the finish. You get circles where it's turned and tracks going one way, and then it cuts across and breaks the pattern. So cleanliness wise it's very good, but aesthetically it isn't. And this really comes down to whether you care more about how clean the carpet is or whether you care about how it looks afterwards, or both. I also wanted to see how this handles slightly larger items because in their marketing images it shows dog biscuits. So I put down a mixture of Skittle sweets and some dried dog food to see how it coped. On other robot vacuums I've used, you can usually press a spot clean button and it'll work in a small circular area. I couldn't find a dedicated spot mode here, so instead I isolated the room, set it to vacuum only and let it clean the space. In terms of pickup, it had no problem lifting the larger bits of debris. On hard floors, the physics always comes into play and the side brush can move things around before they're picked up, but overall it handled it really well. One thing I did notice is that some of the larger suites ended up getting caught underneath the main roller, but I think that's because the dust tray on this model is quite small, and I was trying to pick up a lot of sweets. Alexa integration is easy and works as expected, and you can start a clean using voice commands or set up a routine. Alexa, clean the house.
Start cleaning.
For general cleaning use this is fine, but one thing you can't do with Alexa is send this to a specific room or a specific zone. But you can do that using the Eufy app. Because this is a higher end model vacuum cleaner, I do think that for some people this will be able to replace their main vacuum cleaner for the majority of their everyday need. Of course there are some flaws. The shape alone and the way that the brushes are designed means that it doesn't quite get into the corner as intricately as you could with a standard vacuum. So it depends on your expectations and on how dirty your rooms usually get. You'll still need a bigger vacuum cleaner for stairs and for bigger messes and where you want a perfect finish on carpets. Overall though, this does a really good job and you can see where that extra money is going. The mapping here is what makes the big difference, and it turns it into a genuinely hands-off experience that you can confidently rely on. We tend to send this out whenever we want to using voice commands, but you can just as easily put it on autopilot and use the scheduling feature. I've left a link to the C20 in the description below, and if you want to see how this compares to the cheaper G50 model, then you can watch that here, and I'll see you over there.